Valorant's newest patch features some of the largest changes the game has received. From map tweaks to agent reworks, we're here to break down the biggest changes in how you can be at the top of your game. Starting off, Yoru gets a complete overhaul with brand new sets of utilities in order to have an easier time to push a site. If you want to hear the complete breakdown of Yoru, be sure to check out our video on Yoru's rework. But a quick recap is that his fake outs are now clones of Yoru instead of footsteps, his teleport has a little accident after it's used, and Yoru is completely invisible in his ultimate, which you can use abilities during. Other agents also received some spicy changes. Viper and Astra dominated the meta, but the latest patch tunes down their abilities to even out the playing field. For Astra, she has one less ability charge to play with. On top of that, Astra must now wait a lot longer to retrieve the stars she places on the ground, and her abilities take a lot longer to regenerate. One weird thing about the new Astra is that both her concussing Nova Pulse and movement impairing Gravity Well no longer affect players fully underneath the abilities. Prior, these skills would impact players that were on the same level as the ability, but not anymore. Viper receives a lot of quality of life changes to her kit. When all of her abilities are up at once, the fuel gauge will go down quicker than before, but now her utility has yellow lights to show when her utility is on cooldown. Omen receives fairly decent buffs that allow his utility to be played much faster than before, allowing the game to speed up. Omen's dark cover smokes now come out 43% faster than before, but the ability costs more money to purchase. Omen has a unique flash that can go through walls, but you could also catch your teammates in the crossfire. Riot adjusted his paranoia slightly just to make it a little bit easier for everyone else. Speaking of fast, let's talk 15% faster. Brimstone's Stim Beacon utility is infamous for being pretty useless, as standing in one area for a small increase of fire rate is never a solid strategy. But now that players can go 15% faster in the beacon's radius, teammates all over will be practically skating on ice onto site. Icebox isn't just for ice skating, but does receive a lot of big changes to make things more balanced and more accessible. A-Site receives minor changes with some of the level geometry dialed back to allow a lot more angles in gunfights without being too claustrophobic. B-Side, however, features some of the map changes, with the entryways to B expanding wide open and the big yellow box now straight and not at an angle. Players can no longer hide inside the nest of the site, but now can rotate around the big pillar of the site or hide inside the very sharp and deadly angles, but you can still go up above inside the nest and play off those angles. Valorant patch 4.04 is one of the most expansive changes to Valorant so far, and the gameplay is going to change a lot. How do you feel about the new changes? Is Icebox your new favorite map? Let us know, and for all things esports, keep it locked in here at IGN.